Let's begin. Today, the first topic for today is something called relative clauses. What's a relative clause? A relative clause is a short sentence that gives you additional information about a person, people, a place, a situation, etc. Okay? Let's go to page 134. Let me write here 84 to know which page we should return to. Okay? As I said, the defining clause, the relative clauses are short information you add to a sentence in order to make identifiable or to understand what it says. A short example, a very short example can be this. The man is at the door. If there is a group of people at the door, with that sentence, with that short sentence, can you identify the man? Can you identify the man? The man is at the door. If there is a group of people in front of a door, can you identify that man in the crowd, in la multitud? Can you identify him?
Yes.
No, the man is at the door. How can
Okay,
you know who the man is? There is no information. But if I said, the man who's wearing a red cap is at the door, with this information, with this additional information, who is wearing a red cap, that's enough to identify that man in the group of people because he's the only one who's wearing a red cap. Or, for example, a student is cheating during the test. Can you identify in a room with, I don't know, with 20 students, who is the one that is cheating? Can you identify that person?
No.
But if I said, wait. But if I change the sentence and I said, a student whose name is Tim is cheating during the test, now you can identify that student. Why? Because you have his name, in this case, Tim. A student whose name is Tim is cheating during the test. The last example. There is a good movie at the cinema. Okay. Do you know what's the name of the movie? Or do you know where, in which cinema is the movie?
No.
No. But if I write here, in this case, you can identify which movie. There is a good movie that has Brad Pitt as its star at the cinema. Ah, it's not the movie with Tom Holland. It's not the movie with Godzilla. It's not the movie with Julia Roberts. It's not the movie with Michael Jordan. It's the movie with Brad Pitt. Ah, okay, so you can know which movie is the person talking about. I can also say, in the first case, in the first case, we know about the movie. And in the second case, we know about the cinema. There is a good movie at the cinema where we went last week. So in this case, they are talking about the movie. And in this case, we're talking about the cinema. Okay. So these are what we call non-restrictive, or let me see what's the name they give here in the course book. Give me a second. Defining or non-defining sorry. They are called restrictive or defining relative clause. Cláusulas relativas restrictiva or definidoras, defining, okay? Okay, that's the name of this. Restrictive or defining relative clause. Why restrictive or defining? Because you need that information to understand which or who you are talking about. The man is at the door. There might be 7 men. But if I define that it's only the man who's wearing a red cap, you say, ah, okay, it's only that person. Or a student is cheating during the exam. You have 30 students in a classroom. How do you know who is the one that is cheating? When I give the name, whose name is Tim, or a student that is sitting at the door, or a student that is wearing a black sweater, okay, or a student who is sitting at the back of the room, okay. The same with the movie. There is a good movie at the cinema. We don't know anything about the movie, and we don't know where the cinema is. There is a good movie that has Brad Pitt as its star at the cinema. Ah, okay. It's not the movie that has Tom Holland or that has Julia Roberts or that has Michael Jordan, or that has Sylvester Stallone. No, no. It's a specific movie that has a Brad Pitt, or the specific cinema that you visited with that person the week before. Okay? We call them restrictive or defining relative clause. There are another kind of clauses, which are the non-restrictive or non-defining relative clauses. As its name says, that information is not necessary. Okay? For example, Arthur is at the door. If I tell you Arthur is at the door, it's because you know Arthur. Okay, so you don't need any other characteristic to know who I am talking about. But I can give some more information. Arthur, who is our classmate, is at the door. In that case, the information that says who is our classmate is not relevant, it's not important, it's additional. But you don't need this information to know the name or who is the person at the door. Okay? Gina is cheating at the test. So you don't need to give you the information about who is Gina or where is Gina sitting. Okay? But only that she's cheating at the test. So you can see the 30 students and you know the students and say, okay, Gina is that girl. But in case I tell you, you came into my class and say, hey, teacher, how's everything? Well, not so fine. Oh, why, teacher? Because Gina is cheating at the test. Oh, really? And say, who's Gina? Because you don't know Gina. Gina, who is the girl sitting next to the window, is cheating at the text. So in this case, even if you don't know who Gina is, you can easily find her. Why? Because of the position she has. So who is sitting next to the window is cheating at the test. Okay, so that information is not relevant. You can find Gina in the group because you know the students. The set word part 2 is at the cinemas now. When I say at the cinemas, you understand that it's more than one cinema, okay, where you can see that movie. And you know the name of the movie. So instead of there is a movie at the cinema, there is a good movie at the cinema, you say the Z word past 2 is at the cinemas now. So you understand that is the name of the movie that is the most popular at the cinemas. Of course, I can write the set word part 2, which has Brad Pitt as its star, is at the cinemas. Okay? In this case, I don't need to know who is the star because I know the name of the movie. So, which has Brad Pitt as its star is an additional information. Okay? So, in the case of the non restrictive relative clause, the information the additional information the additional information included in the non-restrictive is not relevant to understand the meaning of the sentence. It's additional. And it's always separated by commas. Okay? These are the characteristics of the non-restrictive relative clauses. First of all, the additional information included is not relevant to understand the meaning of the sentence, and it is always separated by comma. Arthur, comma, who is our classmate, comma. Gina, comma, who's the girl sitting next to the window, comma. The Z word part 2, comma, which has Brad Pitt as its star, comma, is at the cinemas. Okay? And the restrictive, on the other hand, the information, the additional information is necessary. The additional information must be included. It's not like in the first one, when the additional information, well, it can be included or not. It is non-relevant. You can understand the sentence without giving any additional information. But in the case of the restrictive or defining relative clauses, that information is necessary. Because if you don't have it, you don't know what is the other person talking about, what is important, what she or he is saying, why the information you are reading is important. Okay? So in the case of the restrictive or defining relative clause, the additional information must be included. Because if it is not included, there is a student is cheating during the test. Who's a student? Who is cheating? Or the man is at the door. Okay, who is that man? What is that man important? The man who is my cousin is at the door. Okay, it is your cousin. The man that is wearing black clothes is at the door. No, it's not the man with jeans. It's not the man wearing white t-shirt. It's not the man wearing shorts. It's the one that is the only one that is dressed with black clothes. Okay. And the characteristics included, or the information included, is necessary for identifying. Okay, if you don't have it, you cannot identify. You don't know what the people are talking about. Okay, and notice we have no commas. Something very important about both restrictive and non-restrictive, or defying and not defying relative clauses. In the case of both, Immediately. The additional information is immediately after the clause that after the element that clause gives the information about. Okay, it's immediately after. Notice the man who is wearing a red cap. So I'm talking about the man, and the information is immediately after. Okay, give me a, So notice this information is immediately after the man. That is what is modifying. A student whose name immediately after the student. A good movie that has, I'm talking about the movie. Arthur, who is our classmate, immediately after Arthur, who is the girl sitting immediately after Gina, which has a Brad Pitt as its star immediately after the name of the movie. So when we use the restrictive or defining and not defining clauses, it goes immediately after what we are talking about. Okay? Questions up to this moment?
No question.
No problem.
No.
Let's go to the. Give me a second. Let me find my information about the relative clauses. You can also find it as adjective clauses. Okay. So if you want, okay, is there another name about this kind of information? Yes, you can find it as adjective clauses or relative clauses. Let me find the information. Relative pronouns. Okay, let me share. Give me a second, please. Relative clauses. It is used to give extra information about the nouns in the main clause without starting another sentence. A relative clause starts with a relative pronoun. Who or that. Subject or object pronoun for people. You can use who and that for people. Which or that for animals or things. Where for place. When for time, and whose for people, animals, and things when you talk about something that is possessed, something that is owned. For example, the girl whose name is Gina, or the student whose brother is my boyfriend. Okay, so when we use whose, we're talking about things that belong to a person, okay, or names or something. Person, animals, and things. Things, teacher, yes. The hospital, whose name is Eduardo Espejo, is the largest in Quito. Okay, the Eugenio Espejo is the largest in Quito. Okay, here we have the same information, who for people, which for animals, whose for possession, that for people, animal, or objects, where for places, when for time, okay? A relative pronoun refers to a noun mentioned previously, and they can be used to join two sentences, okay? I like the cinema where we went, where we saw a movie last week, okay? Here we have another one that explains clearly that that can be used sometimes and sometimes not. Okay? In the case of that, it can be used only in restrictive relative clause. Only in the ones where the information is necessary. Okay? For people. So I use that only in the necessary ones as for people. Okay? So I said the man that is at the door, okay, is correct. But Mary, that is my friend. Mary, who is my friend. Okay. This is report speech. So up to now, do you have any question about how to use who, whom, whose, whom? No, whom is not used anymore. Whose, that, which, and when? How to use them, when to use them? Who for people, which for animals, whose for possession, that only in restrictive, where for places, and when for time. No problem up to this moment?
No problem.
Okay, so here we have the same explanation in the course book. And we have a why that is not mentioned there. Why refers to reasons or explanations. Okay, the reason why I got up early is that I couldn't sleep. So here we have that when we use the pronouns that can be used instead of who and which, and the non-defining never uses that. Okay, that is no way to be used in the non-defining. Okay, and in the case of the defining clauses, who, which, or that can be left out if they are the object of the clause. You can eliminate who, which, or that. It is possible, not necessary, but possible. And in the case of the non-defined, you must. It is, it's a must. It is impossible to eliminate them. You must keep them with you. Okay? So let's first of all, let's do this exercise and see which ones you can eliminate, the that, the where, the who, and which one you can't. Okay? So remember, the pronouns you use always refers to the object. Okay, for example, Ben's the person. So here I'm talking about the person. What can we use here if it is a person?
Who? Who and
Bike.
them?
Bike. The person bike was stolen last week.
Ben is the person whose bike was stolen
Who?
last week.
Who or whose?
Whose?
Whose? Because we're
Because
talking about a person and it's his or her possession. Whose bike was stolen.
Oh.
Okay, because the bike belongs to who, to the person, to Ben. So Ben is the person. Aha, the bike belongs to him. Whose bike? Okay, that's the dog. What are we talking about?
Which? That's the dog, which?
Which tried to bite me. So here we can write which. And I can use that. Okay, which or that tried to bite me. Okay, let me please give me a second. Let me, okay, the dog. Here we're talking about people. Here talking about the house, the kids, a place, the company, the books. Okay. Number 3, she doesn't like people are unfriendly.
Who? Children
who are
with
unfriendly.
or unfriendly.
This is a non-restrictive. So here in non-defined, don't use that. Okay, here I cannot use that. Okay. That's the house they want to live in. I'm talking about the place or I'm talking about the object in this case.
The place.
The place or the object. That's the house where they want to live in. Yeah. Here I can use where or that they want to live in. Both are correct. Where are the keys? Where on the kitchen table?
Is object.
Object.
What are
So
the keys? Which or that?
Okay, which or that. We're moving to a quiet place. We can hear the traffic. I'm talking about the place.
Where?
Where? The company David works for makes computer. I'm talking about the
Place.
company. The
The company work.
Where?
Where David works.
I read a lot of book. I was ill. Here we need to think a little.
Which?
What is important, the books or the moment when the person read the books? Here we have to think a little. Sometimes
The
not so
moment.
easy. You need to understand.
When?
When I was ill. When I was ill. Why? Because you say, no, miss, but I'm talking about the books. So I read the books that I was ill. No, the important here is the circumstances. At the moment when he was ill, at the moment that person was ill, read a lot of books. Okay, so the important is the moment, not the books. Now let's see which ones. Remember that in the non-defining, okay, we can leave out the relative pronouns. So Ben is the person, bike was stolen. Can I eliminate whose? No. If I eliminate whose, it doesn't. Ben's the person, bike was stolen. No. That's the dog, tried to bite me. No. She doesn't like people who is unfriendly. No, I cannot eliminate the who. That's the house they want to live in. Here I can eliminate. I can say that that's the house where they want to live in, or that's the house they want to live in. Okay? Notice, fíjate que en ninguna parte pusieron las comas. So you don't know. Where are the keys? Where on the kitchen? No. We're moving to a quiet place. We can hear the traffic. Yes. You can eliminate where. The company David works for make computers. Yes. I read a lot of book. I was ill. No. Okay. Sometimes you can eliminate the pronoun, the who's, the which, the that, but sometimes you can't. Basically, if it is non-defined, you never eliminate. The ones in comas, las que tienen coma, you cannot eliminate it. Okay? Questions up to now?
All clear.
All clear. Nice. Let me get let's do some practice so it is done. We can consider it as finished. Okay, and in here, this is unit 9. Six, 12, 11. 8. I'm looking for the workbook 9. Sports, reading, relative clauses. Okay, let me share. Okay. Complete the sentences with the correct relative pronoun. Okay? Which, that, who, whose, when, or where. So take a look and tell me, how can I complete it?
This is the athlete who won the 100 meters race.
Mhm. Number 2. The
The runner
mother
shoes.
whose trainers were old.
Uh-huh.
Because the shoes belongs to the runner. Matt,
Who? Who?
the best time to go surfing is in the morning. The waves are bigger.
Mm,
Morning.
mhm. When?
When? It's the most famous court in the UK. The Wimbledon tennis final is played. In this case, court means not juzgado, but cancha. Pista para, área para practicar un deporte.
Whose?
I'm talking about the place, Wimbledon tennis final. It's
Okay,
the most
where?
famous court in the UK. I'm talking about the place.
Where?
Where? The sports centers was built in 1950, now needs to be repaired.
Where?
Read carefully. Can I use where there?
I don't know.
Check it.
When was built?
Uh-uh.
That.
That was built. Because I'm talking about not the place, but the sports centers itself. El centro deportivo que se construyó, no dónde se construyó, no cuándo se construyó. Okay, the sports center that was built, or which was built. Did you see the golf player ball went into the lake?
Whose ball?
Whose ball? The ball belongs to him. I'd really like to buy some trainers, especially made for running. I'm talking about the shoes,
Which are special?
which are specially made for running. Okay, nice. Let's get some other just for you to put the words, and then we practice how to combine sentences using the adjective clauses. Give me a second. Let me open this. Okay. Okay. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4 exercises about the pronouns to use, and then we get to how to combine sentences using the relative clauses. So number 1, Select the right option, please.
The man who I met.
Who I met. The book.
Which I read. Which I read.
The pot. Sorry, the house.
The house where I live.
The house where I live. The pot.
The boat which I broke.
Which I broke. The city.
The city where I was born.
The city where I was born. The boys.
The boy who I saw.
Who I saw. Who I
Oh.
saw. The places.
The places which
I'm talking about places.
where I play.
Yes, here it is important not to translate, because if you translate a los lugares de que yo juego, pues los lugares que yo juego, but it's that, no, we're talking about place. So I use where. The horse I rode.
Horse which I rode.
The sea.
The sea where I swim.
The sea where I swim. And the princess.
The princess who I love.
Who I love. Okay. Let's go to the second one. The people.
The people who came.
The people who came. The room.
The room where we are.
The cake.
The cake that Liz ate.
That Lisa ate. The girl.
The girl who spoke.
The girl who spoke. The hospital.
The hospital where I work.
The dog.
Yep. The dog which barks.
That which or which only?
That which.
That which. It was Mary. Papa.
It was Mary who left.
Who left? Who left? Okay. The birds.
The birds which sing.
The birds which sing. Someone.
Someone who and that can help.
Who that help? And the school.
The school where I study.
The school where I study. Okay. Okay, let's see what is, because here it was Mary who or that left, the bird switcher that sing. So you can accept the people who that came, the cake that which Liz ate. But your answers were right. Okay, no problem. I want to sneeze. An insect is an animal has 6 legs.
Which has 6 legs.
That has his legs. Both? Okay, both. We can use both.
Why?
I didn't see it was both. Okay, I didn't see it. My mistake. This is the shop I bought my shoes.
Where
At
I
where
bought
or
my
both?
shoes. Where?
Where? She was the doctor
Who saved my life.
who saved my life. That's the man. Car was burned.
Whose car was burnt.
His car was burned. Ibiza is the island we spend our holidays.
Where we spent it.
I'm talking about the island. Do you know anybody wants to cook?
Who wants to cook.
Who wants to cook? Both. Who are that wants to cook? We have to check that is both. There is a river we have to cross.
That we have to cross.
That we have to cross. Because who is not for rivers? He's the artist painted this picture.
Who painted this picture?
Who painted this picture? The boy, bike is broken, is crying. The bike belongs to him.
Whose?
This is the bay. We go back diving. Diving, bucear. This is the bay. We go diving.
Where we go?
Where we go diving. There is a problem. Which, nothing, or both?
Both.
Yes. There is a
Why
problem
both?
which both. Las dos son válidas.
Es decir, the options A and B.
Yes. There is a problem
Okay.
which we must discuss. Correct. There is a problem we must discuss. Okay, remember, in the in the case of the restrictive or the defining, we can omit the which, the where, the that, etc. Okay. Then, some play the guitar, is a musician too.
Eh,
It is his son.
whose?
Because it's the tree. These storks build their nest. Storks, esos pájaros. Las cigüeñas, las grullas. Where? Nothing or both? Or both?
Both.
Both. No. It's a tree where these storks build their nest. It's a tree, these storks, ajá, es el árbol, esas cigüeñas, no es el árbol donde esas cigüeñas. I need the where. There once a king had two sons. Who had two sons? That had two sons, or both?
Yeah. Who?
Both.
Both.
One that. Porque no tiene comas. That's the house I want to buy. That I want to buy. I want to buy both.
Both.
Both. Yes. Okay. Last exercise of this. Okay, let's relative pronounce this one. Okay, select the right option.
Who?
Can you see the dog?
Which deciding?
Which is sitting. They are the beautiful girls Wait a second. Let me plug this in because I'm running out of battery. Okay. They are the beautiful girls.
Mm, who sit,
Do you know the boy?
who is talking?
Who's talking? That's Mr. Lee, works as an engineer.
Whose?
Whose works as an engineer or who works as an engineer?
Who were? Who were?
Who works? I don't know anyone
Mm, who doesn't like?
who doesn't like. This is the man. Sister is our interior designer.
Whose?
Whose sister? That's the woman. Brother is a new secretary.
Whose brother?
Whose brother? I'm not sure. Wristband. Wristband es el brazalete, el que se usa para identificar. Not the one you use for as a jewelry, as this one. No, a waistband in this case is something with your name that they put at the hospitals.
Okay, okay. Which?
Which we couldn't decide bangle to buy. En este caso es una bandana, una pañoleta.
Ahí, ujú. Which?
Mhm. Which bangle to buy? The computer I bought last week is already broken.
Which?
Which? That is the place Max
Where?
works. Where
Where?
Max works. The man came first in the 100-meter race, broke the world record.
The man who?
The man who? At the zoo, there is a parrot can talk to the people.
Which?
Which? Do you know the woman's son is a famous actor?
Whose? Whose son?
Whose son is a famous actor? Well, not whose. This is the girl. Mother is from Canada.
Whose mother?
The flowers grow in the garden are beautiful.
Who? Oh, no, which?
Flowers.
Yes,
Flowers.
yes,
Which?
object.
Yes. The restaurant we used to eat is now closed.
Where?
Where we used to eat. The boy, father is a doctor, often visits me.
The boy whose father is a doctor.
Whose father is a doctor. And finally, this is the school I learned English.
This is the school where I learned English.
Where I learned English. Okay, no problem. I'm not sure whose, a quién le pertenece. De quién es este brazalete. Okay, and I couldn't decide which is correct. I don't know why they put it incorrect. This is the girl whose mother, cuya madre, cuya mamita, cuya madre. Okay, whose mother. Okay. Okay, This is the boy had an accident. One more.
This is the boy who?
Wait. Yesterday I saw a car.
Which was really old.
Which or that?
That.
That. Mandy is the girl I met on Friday.
Who?
Who? I haven't seen Frank. Brother is 5.
Whose brother?
Whose brother is 5. The robber stole the car the lady parked in front of the supermarket.
Which? The lady.
This is the man. House is in fire.
This is the man whose house.
Can I talk to the girl sitting on the bench?
Who is sitting?
The book you gave me is great.
The book that.
Now here we have who, which, or whose?
Which?
Which. See, like some hamburgers are hot. Talking about the hamburgers.
Which?
Which are hot. And Bill Clinton was president of the USA, has only one daughter.
Who was president?
Who was president of the United States. Okay. That is correct. Who is correct? Which is correct? Okay. Which is correct? Okay. Give me a second. Let me close this. Click here. Who, which, or where? Only who, which, or where?
Where?
Where? Okay, we know the man.
Who?
Who? Is this a remote control?
Which?
They are looking for someone
Who can speak Portuguese?
who can speak Portuguese. Do you remember the park?
Where?
Okay, where we played frisbee. She's the woman
Who works as a designer?
who works as a designer. Have you heard of the teacher?
Who lives? Who lives?
Who lives next to the school. That's the garage
Where?
where Google was born. California is the state.
Where?
Where our son lives. And finally, I don't know
Who did it?
who did it. Okay. 10 out of 10. Good. So it is 10:10. See you at 10:25. Okay. So you can have breakfast quietly. See you at 10:25. Okay?